So, my XRP friends out there, welcome to a new XRP update video. It's Friday again, which means it's time to take a detailed, in-depth look at the chart here. We're currently trading at $2.13, and we're still having major trouble holding above our resistance for seeing a breakout here. Last week, we already talked about how we definitely need to stay above this level, or at least not fall below it again, and that we need to see a bit more volume coming in here. That was this dip last week, on May 30th, when we had our last update. A perfect retest once again. Then there was a recovery, and now we're back here at this support area. But something small has changed. We're going to take a closer look at that in just a moment. But before we get started, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, feel free to join the free Telegram Talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join in. You can find the link for that for free down in the video description, and if you want to buy, trade, or do anything else with XRP, you can do all of that on my partner exchange, Binx. The link for that is also down in the video description. Plus, by doing so, you support the channel, or me, really. So, XRP is currently at $2.13. As you can see here, we're fighting to hold this support. The trading volume is still very, very scarce. We've now also taken out that wick from last week here at $2.08. Okay, we found support at the former monthly pivot, but last week, or rather, over the course of this week, we also encountered resistance up here at the pivot. Still, there's a small hope that something might change here or that we'll see an impulsive breakout, and that hope formed last night with this 4-hour bullish divergence. We can also quickly switch over to the daily time frame here. Unfortunately, we don't have a divergence there, but the RSI has cooled off significantly thanks to this move. Now it really comes down to this: we just need more volume in the market, because if we actually fall below here and also lose our trend line from our all-time high or from our falling wedge, then, in my opinion, things won't look good anymore, and we can, or almost have to, expect that we'll see this turnaround point and drop back down toward $1.60. That means, on the 4-hour chart, things actually don't look so bad. As I said, we're hoping that maybe over the course of the morning we'll get a little double bottom here, because, yeah, the volume really isn't strong. For the first time in a long while, we actually had a nice 1-hour volume candle when we dropped down to $2.06 here. If we come back down here again during the day, form a little double bottom, and then move up from here, possibly even seeing a bullish divergence on the 1-hour chart, then we really have a chance for XRP to make a bullish breakout, or at least to test this resistance up here at $2.30. There is still significantly more liquidity to be picked up on the upside, but for that to happen, this trend here needs to be broken. That means, on a larger scale, we had this huge falling wedge with a downward trend channel, and now a similar pattern is forming again, with this trend line here acting as support. If that happens, it will definitely be impulsive with a lot of volume, which is exactly what we need here. Let's quickly turn on our indicator as well. There we can see, okay, we now have a good number of vector candles, with more red ones forming. Strangely enough, we don't have any to the upside. Let's switch to the daily time frame. Here, it's the same picture. We only formed the red one from yesterday up to $2.20. That means there really isn't much liquidity to grab here. We'll have to see if that's enough, or if the liquidity we've built up here in the last 3 or 4 vector candles is sufficient for a possible pump. Interestingly, we also have last week's low. You can see it here. It's at about $2.08. It was only wicked below, but it held as support. If we now use yesterday's low here again as a double bottom, like I said, that wouldn't be a bad thing in my opinion. So, it's definitely going to stay very, very exciting as far as this whole situation is concerned. I'm still not convinced that we're definitely going to drop down to or below this mark of 160, 150 again. Everything still looks okay. As long as we hold this area here, as long as we keep our larger falling wedge, and even if we possibly dip below it again during the course of the morning, that's still okay for me. Otherwise, the next support would only be at $1.90 to $1.80 as an intermediate option, and then at $1.60 to $1.50. Those are the next support levels for us. That's what we definitely need to watch out for now. If we hold that, okay, the long option is in play. $2.30 is the next step, then $2.70, $2.80. If we break through there, the bearish scenario automatically becomes active. Let's take another quick look at the funding rates here, just for the sake of completeness. They're looking positive for us, I have to say at this point. You can see here, the funding rates are in the negative range for XRP, and we haven't seen it like this to this extent in a long time. The last time we saw this was on June 1st, and after that, it was basically just the usual, standard funding rates. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of May, and there was nothing like this then. That means there's currently a bit more short liquidity coming into XRP, which could lead us to see a bullish breakout to the upside here. So, we have the chance today, over the course of the day, to see these prices and position ourselves long, which could then potentially lead to a bullish breakout. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. What do you think? Are you bullish on XRP, or are you saying, nah, that's it for me, I'm selling everything? Feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. Otherwise, I'd like to wish you a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch up next week with the XRP update video. Otherwise, I think there will be a regular update tomorrow. Wishing you a great weekend. Until then, ciao, ciao, and as always, stay crypt.